Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we are working on a brand new kingdom. Now, the first thing that I want to do is go through the council, which we didn't really do last episode. Now, what are the stats on our wife right here? She's okay at intrigue. Intrigue isn't super helpful to us right now, unfortunately. So I think that instead, what we're going to do here is leave her on assist ruler, and let's take a look at if we can replace any of these. Okay, we can't ever currently replace our clerics. Fine. Our chancellor, our best chancellor is, in fact, the guy we've got. So that's okay. Our steward is just awful at his job, and actually our powerful vassal, the guy we granted this, is a better steward, and he's the best steward we've got. So we're going to put him onto there. Fantastic. Our marshal's okay. This guy is a better marshal. Put him in there. And our spy master is okay, but this guy, who's also apparently a powerful vassal, is a slightly better spy master. So we'll go ahead and do that. We don't have the best of options for right now, but it'll be okay. And we're going to continue forward. We, of course, are attempting to get our income up, while at the same time looking for opportunities to attack this guy. Maybe we should just go for it. That said, we don't have the prestige to subjugate him currently. And rather than farming the prestige via feasts and hunts, right now I feel like that money is far better spent on investing in our territories over here. So I think that's going to be what we're going to do. And we are going to continue to work our way through constructions over here. Forestry wouldn't necessarily be a bad option here, considering that all we can do is forestry and hunting grounds to make us money. I think that forestry is definitely what we want to go for in this city holding. That said, we might want to look at our personal holdings here. So I don't usually like to build outposts. I find that if we are... Well, it does give levies, but I think that forest forts would be better here. I think that hunting grounds might be a good option. Barracks and military camps might be a good option. And then maybe a trade port? Let's see. Barracks, military camps, and then we would have forest forts. And then we'd be able to choose between hunting grounds or trade port. And I think, given our current goals, I would choose hunting grounds. Although I might replace that later. So I think I'm going to build our next hunting grounds here in our capital. That will give us a few extra levies, and that is, I think, ultimately a good thing. The question is, what about these locations over here where there are only 4 building slots? Now that's a duchy capital there, so there are, of course, extra ones. There's also a special slot here. We could build a grand temple. And that's definitely something we want to do. We've already got a barracks here. Okay. So let's take a look at this location up here. So walls and towers, it's okay. That might be fine. We definitely want a barracks in here. There's no doubt about that. So barracks, walls and towers, military camps. That gives us our 3 primary military structures. And then we'd probably want pastoral lands or hunter grounds. 225 overall levies compared to the hunting grounds. Same. It does give men-at-arms maintenance reduction. We're probably not going to be using light cavalry, is something to consider. Whereas if we do pastoral lands, that gives us heavy cavalry toughness, which we... Do elephants count as heavy cavalry? Yes, they do. Okay, that's really good to know. That's really, really good to know. But like I said, we're going to be off to a bit of a slow start. We're working on fabricating a claim out over here. And in the meantime, we're banking up some prestige. Who is this guy? Our half-brother can marry. Sure. Okay, that'll be fine. So yeah, I think that we should probably work on getting, where we can, me gold maintenance reduction, but it doesn't give levies. Where we can, we should be working on pastoral lands in the castles that we hold. Where we can't do pastoral, we will do hunting. And that is going to be our current priority, just to get those sweet, sweet tax gains. So that'll be fantastic. Now, what is our steward currently doing? Increasing development up here. That's right. And we're working on fabricating a claim. We don't really need to be on foreign or domestic affairs, actually. Shortening truces is nice, but we have a stewardship perk available, and that is amazing. I think that we're going to grab golden obligations. Now, we don't have many vassals right now, so Hergeld is probably not the best option. It's okay, I suppose. I mean, how many taxes is this guy paying to us? He's getting 1.72, I think. But if we look at our vassals, we can see that he is reduced as we're not his rightful liege, but he's currently paying us 0.2 gold per month. Okay. Good to know. Now that could be raised pretty dramatically if we were to, you know, run him on, say, extortionate taxes or something like that. This would essentially double our tax income right here. Now, he's not going to be happy, and that's okay. Let's go ahead and start constructing our forestry, or actually, no, our hunting grounds here in our capital. Excellent. We just want to get that cash snowball rolling as quickly as we can so that we can get all of these investments done very, very quickly. Now, if we had the prestige, I would declare this war, this subjugation war. Unfortunately, we just don't have the cash. So, or rather the prestige. We don't have the cash to get the prestige either via the gold to prestige transform tools. So we're just going to chill here for now and work on upgrading our various holdings. It's going to be taking us 20 months approximately right now to be able to construct each one of these. So that's, like I said, a slow start. But ultimately, I feel like that's okay. So this is a situation where we would absolutely want to build pastoral lands here. That's 150, so we would probably actually want to come over here and build a hunting grounds instead, because that costs 50 less. And yeah, it does produce less as well, but that's fine. We're going to build all of them eventually anyway. I just want to get them producing as quickly as possible. So that'll be okay. Now we are working on fabricating a claim over here, of course, and we're going to go after this guy as soon as we can. He's also Sinhala. He's not going to accept vassalage because his realm is apparently distant from ours. I'm not sure I agree that it's distant, but okay, whatever. If that is what he wants to think, then that is okay. So you can see here that we are up to 12 development in the location where we are improving our development, and that should be improving our development in each of these neighboring as well. Yeah, you can see here, from neighbors, plus 0.5. So that is fantastic that that is spreading. All of these up here are already 12 development, so they're not getting anything from neighbors yet until this improves. Okay, sounds good. We're up to 2,000 troops now. And we're not really focusing currently on getting our men-at-arms upgraded, although I would absolutely love to. There's no doubt about that. Our barracks and our mottes are going to be a ways away yet, so that is definitely something to note. We will go ahead and do that marriage. And this will be available in about 29 years, the early medieval period. Now, we do want mustering grounds for sure. Casus Belli would be okay. And construction slowdown because of our steward's average stewardship skill. Well, he's better than he could have been. So, we're just waiting at this point on a little bit more cash coming in. And this claim fabrication over here is going to be done extremely soon. And this will, of course, also help our income. So let's take a look at how much this is going to cost once this finishes up. It's going to be pretty painful for us, in all honesty. And we might want to bank up a little bit of cash before we do this. 87 gold? Do it. But I'm not happy about it. We are in debt, and we will be for a little while. So we now have a CB on this guy. And he's not happy with us, to be clear. We're in debt and we can't declare war, and we're definitely going to need to bank up a little bit of cash because we're going to need to pay an embarkation cost. Also, if our troops are fully raised, that's going to cost 7.3 gold per month, which is quite a bit, considering what we've got right now. So that is definitely something that we need to consider. Now, we can press our claims on this guy, and that'll cost us 125 prestige, which is okay. We actually don't need our full troops here. We should be okay with raising up roughly half of our troops, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put down our rally point right in our capital, where it actually already is. And then we're going to raise up, that's 900 troops there. And that's 1770. Okay, so we're going to need not quite this many levies. I want about 1,000 troops. This should be okay. We do that, we're making a small amount of cash. What is the embarkation cost? Yeah, I know we'll pay embarkation fees. But how much? 11? I think that's acceptable. Let's do it. We've got our first war going on here, and we should, in theory, be completely fine. So we'll embark, and we'll go slightly into debt, but that's okay. And off we go. Our commander here is only skill 17. He's the best we've got. We are currently not making anything. But I don't believe that's actually true. So we'll win this fight, and that'll be fine. And this siege is going to take a while. 8 months. We captured their heir. I'm going to pursue them, and we're going to go after war score instead from battles. That should be sufficient to get us to the end of this war. I'm not going to bother with sieging this. We have no siege weapons. Should be completely fine. We'll arrive there shortly, and we should stack wipe them, I think. Or we may not stack wipe them, but we'll be close. Yeah, this isn't quite going to stack wipe them, I don't think. Nope, not quite. But that brought us up to 82%, and we're going to come on down, and this one will stack wipe them, and should, in theory, get us to 100%. Excellent. So we'll bring this on down, and we will definitely win this. There's no doubt about it. There we go. Battle has commenced. They have nowhere to go. Capturing their heir was very convenient and made it so that we wouldn't have to siege. So we'll go ahead and enforce those demands. And then we'll disband these troops. And of course, we'll want to hand this out to somebody. And I think we will hand it to this guy. Excellent. So he is now our vassal, and he is now paying us taxes. How many taxes is he paying us? He is paying us... Is that this guy? That is... this guy. Okay. He is currently paying us no taxes, but that's because he just gathered that, so that's fine. We have completed some of our gains over here, some of our buildings over here, rather. And that is absolutely fantastic. You can see here, our monthly income is up to 6.1. That is wonderful. I'm going to move our standard rally point to be in Jaffna. And I would really prefer this to be a castle, but here we are. No real option to change it over, sadly. No real option at all. Our development increase over here is slowly proceeding, and let's check in real quick on our technology. About 34 and 29 years, respectively. That's okay. Gavelkind is also progressing. That's made it 5%, and I'm quite pleased with that, actually. 5% chance to gain 0.46 progress each month. 1% on CB, and 1% on mustering grounds. Sure. That'll be fine. So I am going to go for Hergeld next. I am very interested in attacking these guys still. Of course, we can't subjugate them because of the current cost, but that is something that is kind of our current medium-term goal. I wouldn't call it a short-term goal at this point. How old are we? We are 42. Okay. What is their succession? Male preference Confederate partition. That is very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. So, of course, we now have this territory over here. And the question is this producing taxes for this guy at this point? And if so... Right. We can't disinherit it because we don't have the renown yet. We're on Confederate partition, and yeah, we would need the primogeniture innovation. We could switch to high partition eventually, but I think for now we're going to be much better off just disinheriting our children. Unfortunately, that does cost renown, but we'll work on that, and we should be able to rush primogeniture much faster since we're starting off as feudal. We would be able to go to High Medieval and go to Heraldry. Actually, primogeniture is in the late medieval era. So 1200 is the latest that you can, or the earliest rather, that you can do that. But I did want to take a look at what this guy's situation was in terms of taxes. So he's not paying anything currently. Okay. Good to know. Our brother died of his wounds. Sure, that's fine. Not too concerned about that. Lost knowledge? Lost knowledge. Fantastic. Okay, so up here we want to build our pastoral lands as soon as we can. Can we build... Yeah, that's pastoral lands. This one is hunting grounds that we'd have to build here. So this one is the one that we want to build next. We're up to 6.3 per month now. And next month, we're going to have enough to build our hunting grounds. Our snowball is beginning to roll. It's not moving very quickly yet, but it's starting to pick up speed. And that's absolutely wonderful. We can get a new stewardship perk, and we're going to take Hergeld to make sure that our vassals are paying some more taxes. That gives us an additional 0.1 gold per month. That's great. And we're going to build those sweet, sweet hunting grounds. Fantastic. Now, everything else up here is going to be pastoral lands, and that'll be 180 gold there, and then 150 gold here. Of course, it's 180 over here because our steward made a mistake. So we'll probably wait to build that until the end. That's going to expire in 3 years, so this one will be the last one that we build, for sure. We're definitely going to wait until it expires. I don't want to spend that 30 gold if we don't have to. So that will be wonderful. And of course, down here, we're going to be cranking out the farms and fields, and we're going to be cranking out trade ports and guilds anywhere there aren't any, like these locations. And yeah, that'll just slowly start our economic snowball rolling. And that'll be fantastic. This guy up here, I would very much love to attack him right now. We could get away with it easily. I don't want to spend prestige on this. 1,500 for that. This would be absolutely amazing if we had the prestige, but alas. We can create some titles that will transfer gold into prestige, of course. That's not something I want to do at this exact moment. Right now, I'm much more interested in putting that gold to work in making more gold. That is our current goal. Does this have a holding up here? Yes, it does. Okay, that's good to know. That's very, very good to know. So we are just getting started here, of course. We did get our first war done. I'm very, very happy about that. We can take a look at what's going on with, like, these guys. These guys are actually currently considered vastly inferior to us, which is slightly shocking. But that's going to continue to be the case. We are going to accelerate out of control in the next 100 or so years. This investment will absolutely pay dividends later on. We're up to 64 gold right now, making 6.6 per month. And we are continuing, of course, to upgrade these. In theory, we should start to see some of our vassals upgrading themselves once we get the base levels done here. And that will be fantastic. Why is this building disabled? All of our temples are disabled. Not this one. All of our temples held by our leader of our faith are disabled. Perhaps he just took over in that role? Is this... He is endorsing us now. Okay. That's good to know. Something changed there, clearly. But we'll keep an eye on that and see if those temples re-enable next month. It says that they will. So we'll see. We are currently 2 months away from getting another structure built. This guy's making 1.09 currently for his taxes. And how are we doing now that we have Hergeld? I want to look at our vassals. Yeah, this guy's taxation actually increased by 50%. That's great. That's absolutely great. I'm very, very happy to see that. So we can construct at this point. It's 100 gold, so we can't really construct what we want to construct. Which, of course, right now is pastoral lands. We want to construct these as soon as we can in these castles out here. So we will just wait for a little bit more gold to come in. We're currently getting 1.8 gold per month from our capital, and I'm wondering where most of that is coming from. We're just getting a flat 1 gold because that's our realm capital. I see. Okay. This guy is reducing our tax income by 5%, and alms and pacification is reducing it by an additional 5%. Okay. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. We're about 32 and 25 years away from getting these technology upgrades. At this rate, we are definitely going to get barracks before we enter the early medieval era. So that is pretty excellent. I'm very, very happy about that indeed. I am going to go up to speed 4. Like I said, this is a slow start. I'm not going to go to speed 5 because I feel like I miss things at speed 5, but I will go up to speed 4 for now, and we'll take it back down a little bit later on. Let's go ahead and construct our pastoral lands over here in Batakaloa. And then we are, of course, going to... I was going to say attack these up here, but we're not going to attack them. We're going to construct in them just as soon as we have another 150 gold. We're now up to making 7.1 gold per month. So this is improving dramatically. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Next episode, we're going to continue running on speed 4 until we are through this very, very slow intro portion. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.